this video, we will find out how you can utilize the workflows of Tinkercad to create a complex design and discover the advantages of the basic shapes which is available in Tinkercad, and also how we can use the view cube and the work plane to use advantage wall. So now preparing to add your walls. After you designed a floor slab, you can add to sit on the slab and form the ground floor of your skyscraper. Before you get started, you need to get your work plane and view cube working so that you can make sure that your walls are in the right place. We want our work plane to sit on the top face of the floor slab. That's why when you place your shapes to form your walls, they will sit on the top face of the floor slab. Select the work plane icon at the top right of the Tinkercad design screen. Just before clicking top face of the floor slab, you will see that Tinkercad highlights a face with a transparent square shape on your cursor so that you know which face you are clicking on, right? Work plane then turns a yellow color and becomes the top face of the floor slab. You also need to make sure that you are in a preset view from the view cube. We already in a preset view. Okay. You also need to make sure that the floor slab aligned with the grid square on the work plane. You need to zoom in. By zooming it make easier to align with the grid. Right, perfectly aligned. Walls. After you have a floor slab aligned with the grid, you can use the grid to place other shapes that will allow you to create the walls of your skyscraper ground floor. To add your walls to your skyscraper, please zoom out so that you can see the whole floor slab. The next step is place the box hole on the floor slab. Using the box hole shape from the basic shape menu, place the box hole on the top of the floor slab using the grid to place it accurately, like this. It will sit on the top face of the floor slab because the work plane is already placed on that face. Okay. Now size the box hole so that it shells out the inside of the ground floor. We'll take length will 85, width with 85 and height with 80. Okay. Now you see you have a hole sitting on the ground floor slab like this. Now using hide command, after you have a hole sitting on the top face of the ground floor, you see box shape and hole shape occupying the same space, but the box shape will be slightly larger, right? When you shell out the box shape with the box hole shape, you will end up with your walls. Before you do that, just hide the box hole shape. Select the box hole shape and then click on the little light bulb icon on the shape window. Use the keyboard shortcut also, Ctrl+H. Now hide the box hole shape. From the basic shape menu, select the box shape which is normally in red color and place it centrally like you did the box hole shape in the previous step. Like this. may need to zoom in to ensure it is aligned to the grid or not. It is perfectly aligned. Okay. Now we give the dimension to the box. We give length to 90, width will be 90, and height will be 80. After you place the box shape, you have a full cube with no space inside, right? It is just a solid. You now need to reutilize the box hole shape to shell out the solid cube to create the walls. Before you place the box shape, you use the height command. You previously used the height command to hide the box hole shape, right? Now you need to bring it back onto the screen by unhiding it so that it occupies the same space as the full box shape. For this, you need to click on the white area around your workspace. Just click on the light bulb icon on the top right toolbar. It is also called the show all command. You can also use the shortcut key Control Shift plus H. See. Control Shift plus H. Okay. Now go to the view cube and select the top front right corner. Top front right corner. You can see the box shape and the box hole shape more clearly. So in the isometric view, you can select the both boxes shape, the box shape and the box hole shape, and click on the group icon on the top right toolbar. We are already in a isometric view. Select the box shape and the box hole shape, and simply click the group command. You also use the shortcut Control plus G. Now the box hole shape has shelled out of the box of the shape, giving you the walls for your ground floor. See. Okay. Now the next is adding windows to the front view. After you add the walls to the ground floor, you need a window, right? To add the windows, you first need to align the work plane to the front face ground floor. To use the wall that is in the selected front view, just click on the front view. The front wall is already complete. No, it's already complete with the windows. We need to add the windows. Just zoom in. Okay. Align the work plane with the front wall in an isometric view. Just click on the work plane and align the work plane to add the windows perfectly using a grid. Okay. Plane should be set to the front wall. You need to be in the preset view on the view cube. Just select and perfectly grid. You may need to zoom into the grid of accuracy, and you can place more than 2 boxes hole shape if you want. Okay. If you want, you can add more than 2, and for now we add only 2. Okay. So select one of the box hole shape and use the axis arrow axis arrow to move the box hole shape so that it goes through the corresponding wall. We need to select two window. We need to create a two windows. So we select two box hole shape and go to the perspective view and just click on the box hole shape and click on the axis arrow to if you group them like this, if you group them like this now, they will not make holes to represent the windows because they need to go through the wall to make that happen. So that's why we click on the box hole shape and just move inside the wall to make a hole. Okay, click on the front view, click on the isometric view, just group them the wall and the window. Wall and box hole shape to make a window like this. See, the front wall is completed with window like this. Okay, so go to the top view of the view cube to check the box hole shapes are going through the wall in plane, right? Like this. The front view of the ground floor now has a set of windows. Your windows are in the front view, which is known as front elevation. Which is known as front elevation. Okay. Windows to the other elevations. We want windows on windows on each of the four walls of the ground floor. Okay. So in the front wall window creation, you have a windows only the front elevation. To add windows to the other elevations on your ground floor, all you have to do is to repeat the process for each other side of the ground floor. Chalo, let's start at the right view and select the work plane to perfectly align the window. Just align it perfectly. Select two hole shapes and create them accurately. With the help of the axis arrow, just move the whole box shapes inside the wall to make a window like this. Go to the right view, make an click on the isometric view, just group them. To make the window on the right side. The right view is completed with the window. Now move to the back view, select the work plane, align with perfectly. Repeat the same process on each side. Group them to make windows. Now back side is also completed. Now move to the other side, that is left side. Choose the work plane, align it perfectly with the grid. Select two box hole shape and align it perfectly with the grid. Click on the isometric view. Switch to the perspective view to move the box hole shape onto the wall to make a window like this. Switch to the isometric view. Select the wall and the box hole shape to make a window. Group them to make a window. Each of the wall has its own window, right? Now finish walls with the windows provided on each side by the box hole shapes, right? Now adding the ceiling. As you have now the ground floor with a floor slab and some windows on it, you need a ceiling to sit on the top of the ground floor walls. So there is only one ceiling with no repetitive tasks to perform this time. Okay. To add a ceiling, get into a suitable isometric view on the view cube. Okay. Set the work plane on the top face edge of the ground floors. This is quite difficult part. First, you need to get work plane in the default position. Okay, and you need to add the work plane on the top face of the work plane. Okay, now it perfectly set at the top of the ground floor. Okay. Switch to the orthographic view and align the walls and the floor slab to the grid on the work plane. Just click on the top face of the plane. You may need to zoom in to make sure this alignment to the grid is accurate here. Just select and okay. Now add one box shape one box shape, select the one box shape and position a box shape centrally of the floor slab like this. You need to be very careful with alignment. See, box shape. You need to take care. Make sure that the box is perfectly aligned or not. Okay. Now it is perfectly aligned. You may want to also give it a different color to distinguish it from other objects in the design. Okay, so I click on the solid and I take a brown color to the wall. With the box shape being used for ceiling selected, size the ceiling to the exactly fit to the below it. Okay, so I take a length 90 with 90 and the height will 5 mm. Let's see how. No, it is not perfectly aligned. See, the red parts appear here, the red color. Select the, make sure it is perfectly, now it is perfectly aligned. You can now see the ceiling sitting flush on the top face of the wall, and it is different color. It is easy to spot. Always check your corners by zooming in. Okay, and if they are not exactly flush as you may expect, please do it perfectly aligned. Click on the reset. Click the work plane on the default position. Reset the work plane back to its default position. So now click and just make sure that now grouping the shapes. Windows and ceiling make up your ground floor of your skyscraper. It would be beneficial if you are group the walls with their window openings and the ceilings as one object in skyscraper design. See, here if the walls were selected first, the grouping go red. If the ceiling were selected first, the group would be a brown color. So decide on your color before you group the shapes together or change it after the grouping operation. Use the group command to group the walls and the ceiling together. Wall and ceiling together. Just select both of them and click on the group command to group together. See, with the group object selected, change the object color to a color to red. Now the ceiling and the walls means window become one shape and one color. Now we finish the ground floor after the grouping as one shape, right? And with one color. So thank you for watching the video. See you soon in the next video for continuing your skyscraper. Thank you.